First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Move Javante
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up, though?
It's good.
Ain't nothing, man. You know, got us an interesting show ahead. You know what I'm saying? So we got Super Bowl recap and all that good stuff. So before we even get to any of this stuff, we gotta get to the logistics of the thing. Welcome to another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. This is episode 228. We running through them 200s, man. Hey, we've been putting in work. We got some longevity going in this thing. Hey, you can call us a lot, but you can't call us some slackers. You got damn it. We keep doing it. We keep doing it.
Absolutely.
And you know, I am your host for this evening, AJ. Who I got with me?
You already know who it is, your boy Hill. And Hill gonna heal regardless, baby. Let's get it. So we have determined that my curse is the strongest of the pod so far.
I guess so, cause all right. So I ain't gonna lie. I did have some 49ers in my parlay though.
So did I.
All right. So we can't really get a full understanding of it, because boy, I might send a screenshot of some of my parlays and every 49er missed. Boy, I'm talking about every one of them except Christian McCaffrey.
I think I only missed Kittle for some reason, because obviously he didn't play.
I missed everybody. Like,
these
might have been the worst parlays I've ever entered in my entire career.
Oh, it's like that. Look, y'all catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. We also on the Facebook group at 3-Man Weave group. Man, let's get right into it. So we got a lot of avenues and a lot of ways that we can break this game up. We just gonna go straight with the recap first.
Yeah, let's go ahead and just jump right into the recap.
All right, man. How you felt about the game, man?
This was one of those Super Bowls where I'm just like, this is underwhelming. I mean, but you know, for it to be two good teams, and we kind of knew defense was going to be strong in this game. This is one of those defensive games, but even still, it was just like, this shit is sloppy, it's slow. And I was just like, okay, it is what it is. Maybe this might sound like hate, but especially early on, I'm just like, all right, I know how this is going to end. And I was just like, all right, cool. I see what's going on. I see the play. I know how this is going to end. All right, cool. And then it picked up eventually, but it was not one of those Super Bowls that, it was like, oh, this was going to be exciting. And I'm not saying and don't get me wrong, just because it's a defensive game, don't mean that it has to be a boring game.
Yeah.
This was just a boring game to me.
It was boring in the first half.
Yeah. But that's where, because this is where we're starting off. You know what I'm saying? This is just how we get into the recap. And I was just like,
we did get overtime, like you said.
Yeah, we got overtime. But even the overtime,
the overtime was successful. I can't give you that. Overtime was successful.
No. For me, it's like watching a movie I done seen before. I'm like, I know what's about to happen. I know how this is gonna go. Look, all right. I'm gonna just go ahead and give my spoiler. As soon as Jake Moody missed this field goal, I'm like, hey, dog, it's over. I know what's gonna happen. Regardless, because it made the numbers work out in too good of a favor for the Chiefs. Because now, hey, all you gotta do, like you can go get a touchdown, but even if you don't, you got a bucker kick and you still alive. I know what's about to happen.
Was that missed extra point? Was that before or after the Mahomes interception? Can't remember.
I think the missed extra point was, I want to say it was before, but even then, I think they got a field goal or had to punt off the missed interception. So it wasn't like they, I think they might have punted off the interception, if I'm not mistaken. So it was just like
it didn't hurt.
You stole you got a possession back, but you didn't really do nothing with it.
Now this was, when Greenlaw went down, Debo blew a tire. I knew it was over. I think the Greenlaw injury would demoralizing for I think everybody, even if you was just like you said, you were just watching the game, because the way that he was playing,
he had energy. Like every tackle, he throwing dudes around, he getting up, slamming the ground. He had the energy, and it was just like,
okay, he coming to play. Like
he was ready.
And then, like you say, him like having a freak injury at that, like it didn't even happen on the tackle. It didn't even happen on anything football related. He was just running on the field, extra height, and him to blow Achilles, and possibly he's going to miss the entire season next year. Definitely was a demoralizing blow. Debo getting injured is something that they've seen before. So I mean that wasn't that didn't do it for me. That wasn't the one that did it for me. But it did fall into the script of we done seen this before. But I mean
keep getting away with this.
I mean the interception though was just egregious though from Mahomes at that point, and like that the team, I know it didn't come back to hurt them obviously, but I think at that point, I mean it was just uncalled for, because especially with the Kelsey open, it's like, what type of throw was that? Like,
like I couldn't tell, like, did he was he attempting to go over top and underthrew it, or was he trying to go underneath and overthrew it? It was just like what are you doing here, Pat?
Like it was just bad. Like that was like a terrible throw, and like I get it. He's perfect. He never makes a mistake. I know. So we just see something like that. Like, come on now. On the first, like on the flip side, seeing CMC fumble early on, it's like, hold on, bro. Like, this is CMC. Like, you don't have a mistake like that at that point of the game, like that early in the game. And then seeing Pacheco fumble was kind of not uncharacteristic between him. And so it's like it was sloppy and was ugly. It was like, okay, who's gonna mess up the most, I guess, like, at this point. But at the end of the day, like I said, we got an overtime game in the Super Bowl. Like, we got our money's worth. Obviously, our parlays ain't hit, but you get.
So I didn't get my money's worth.
You get.
I lost my money.
You get what I'm saying? How the saying goes, as far as that aspect. But I mean, we can touch on some of the things that could have went different. Let's go on the losing aspect. Let's go with the 49ers. Like, what happened?
Sloppy play and turnovers. The Christian McCaffrey fumble, the blocked extra point, and the muffed punt. Those three things that you could point to and be like, hey, y'all shooting yourselves in the foot. This is one of those times where you can't give extra possessions, you can't give extra opportunities, and you can't keep bailing, a legend out. You can't continue to give him, this many opportunities, even if on some of those that, like he may not have went and got a touchdown on or something like that. But it's just now you get like you're giving them more information. You're giving them more snaps against your defense. You're giving them more ideas against this is what your plan is and this is what you're trying to do. It's only a matter of time before we get our breakthrough. And them not capitalizing on it, that's what ended up happening. You didn't give them, like, you didn't put enough pressure on them to make them be perfect. You started to put stuff on you where now you got to be perfect. And then towards the end, that's what happened. You had the pressure on you to be perfect, and you didn't capitalize on it. And Patrick Mahomes did with that touchdown to end it.
I get it. And I'm not disagreeing with anything that you say. I'm not disagreeing if anybody felt this way. I'm not disagreeing with any of the criticism that Kyle Shanahan is getting towards his way. None of that. Or, how the 49ers can't win the big game, so to speak. I just feel that they just lost. Like, and as simple as I'm making it sound, I think that's really just what it is. Like, like you said, CMC fumbled. They didn't score after that. Pacheco fumbled. So we got it.
Right.
Boom. We got the turnover battle. Actually, you had you get the interception from Mahomes. The muff punt. Was an unfortunate play. Like the dude making a block, it hit his leg, and he trying to pick the ball up. Stuff that just like you say. Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. It's cliche.
Yeah, of course. And one of the things that I say, like that's why one of the reasons, like for like defensive players, I never truly count fumble recoveries as like a symbol of like how good you are, because it's really about just getting lucky and being in the right place and just falling on it. Because a fumble recovery, the ball bounces anywhere, and yes, it may show that you're around the ball, but it's not necessarily a play you made. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in terms of this muff punt, he got his hands on it, and to me, just like that's when you have to lay on it. You just got to fall on it, because trying to pick up an oblong shape is like it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. You get your hands on it, but to me, you got to fall on it. You got to fall on it.
It was a mistake. I'm not saying that it wasn't a mistake, and I'm not giving him no pass on that. Like I said, I'm just saying that they took this game into overtime. They went into overtime. Unfortunately, they only got a field goal, and they lost. But the funny thing is, the reason why I'm not second guessing nothing that they did, because the time that they went forward on fourth down, I said, "Oh, this is a mistake." And then they end up getting it on fourth down, and then they end up throwing the touchdown to Jennings on that same drive. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I just told y'all not to go for it. Who am I to keep second guessing y'all? So I'm not about to play Monday morning. I'm not about to play Monday morning quarterback for a certain situation that they should have. Oh, he should have been aggressive at this point. He should have did this and that point. At the end of the day, they put the team was in position to win the game. They had opportunities to win the game. Hey, they just fell short, and I know that they don't want to hear that, because this is the second time again against the same opponent that they just fell short, that they blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter to this same opponent. I know they don't want to hear that, you know what I'm saying? Right, but I'm just saying me Donald Hill, how I viewed it. It was just, okay, man, you lost, bro.
Oh, and what I'm saying is, in no way am I saying, oh, the 49ers just tricked it. I'm not saying that this was like, oh, 28-3 and they blew it and gave it away. What I'm saying is those were the turning points.
Mm-hmm.
A routine field goal, you miss it, you get it blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Routine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And and that alone changes the course of the game, because we've seen how different teams have to play when they have to get a touchdown to win the game, versus you get bailed out by being able to have a field goal, because it gives you options where it's like you can play a different style of football, because you still know, hey, we can go for this touchdown, but if we don't get it,
mm-hmm.
we're okay. We can kick the field goal, because now it's like, hey, you don't have to go for it and put yourself in, go to the end zone or the game is over type deals, where you got to kind of stand in the pocket a little bit longer, where you got to put the ball in the air a little bit, in harm's way, because I have to make a play. And that don't mean Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have scored a touchdown, but it changes the philosophy, and it does make things different for them, and it allows Steve Wilkes to call a different game also, and a little bit of cat and mouse, because that kind of helps them out, because regardless, they have to get a touchdown. But so stuff like that plays a big part in that. Let me just want to say,
I wanted to get. I was setting that up.
They just lost to a better. Go ahead, set it up.
Are you good?
Because they lost to a better team, but we have to stop overrating the Niners receivers. No, the Niners, Brandon Ayuk, every accolade that Brandon Ayuk got this year was deserved. He balled. And he, it's not his fault he wasn't completely targeted. Debo, I think Debo had like 11 targets this game, and he was on a bad hamstring or something like that.
Yeah,
but we're not necessarily saying we're overrating the Niners receivers. Let's talk about the Chiefs defense and what they did as a whole, especially on the outside, but also their pass rush was also in the game that Spagnuolo called. He shut. Oh, go ahead. My fault.
Before we get to the Chiefs, we're gonna get the Chiefs. They just do. Before we get, I didn't want to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I just want to
good.
Yeah, I wanted him to expound on it. He said Debo had one good season and he did nothing in 2 games in the playoffs, including the Super Bowl. I mean, I'm not going to argue that because I'm not going. But at the end of the day, he was injured coming into. Which game did he get injured in?
I think it was last week. He injured his shoulder, right? I'm not last week, but the NFC Championship game. I think he hurt his shoulder then, right?
He hurt his shoulder in the Green Bay game.
Okay.
He hurt his shoulder in the Green Bay game, and then he ended up playing in the NFC Championship game, and still was a contributing factor. 3 for 12 on third down that's nasty work. That's nasty work. And I'm not about to sit here and say Purdy played a bad game. He definitely did not play a bad game, but this was the game at time where they needed him to elevate. Like he was doing those drives against the Lions, against the Packers when he was the game-winning drives.
Yeah,
that's when they needed. That's what the Purdy that they needed in spots in this game, and he just didn't deliver. He's not the reason why they lost. I'm just saying it was just the part. We just needed a little bit more. We just needed a little bit more curl, like Kenny always say.
When do quarterbacks make their money?
Oh, in the playoffs. In the Super
Bowl. Third down. Quarterbacks make their money on third down, and that's one of the things that it was. And I think I can't remember who said this point, but they were saying Steve Spagnuolo outcoached Kyle Shanahan on second down, making third downs very difficult on Brock Purdy. And to me, that's a great point because a lot of times they would get those stops, so they were behind the chains a lot. And so hey, it's going to be on Brock Purdy's shoulders to get it done. And they were sitting in the house, and they, even on times when they weren't getting home, it was enough to affect the passes of Brock Purdy, because guess what? That's one of those separators from the greats versus some really good quarterbacks and those middle tier quarterbacks. I was making a point to someone early where not to kind of bring other people in, but when you look at some of those quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, even Joe Burrow, they will recognize the blitz that's coming, even in your disguises.
Yeah,
they will say, look, the defense looks like this. If they're going to do something, it's going to come there, and they always have an exit plan. And so, when McDuffie comes on that blitz and he's screaming, it looked like Purdy was like, okay, progressions still. He's still playing by the rules of the Kyle Shanahan offense instead of saying somebody's hot. And I think that's where things really got that's where it kind of it would fuck him. It would mess him up, and we saw it on a couple of crucial throws, to be quite honest.
Like a couple of the touchdown passes, like one of in overtime, like when Chris Jones just is unblocked. That's just that's just nasty work. But at the end of the day, let's touch on that aspect of. I know a lot of 49ers fans were getting overzealous, getting hyped, and they was expecting to, win this Super Bowl. And then they was ready to build on the Super Bowl, thinking that they can have going to run, they could be the next dynasty. Now they're feeling a little distraught, a little down off of this loss. And that's what losses do to you. And losses do change everything. Like I said, I often say winning cures all, but losing definitely makes it a lot worse. Now all of a sudden, Brandon Ayuk, people talking like they ready for him to get up out of there. He's mad about only having 3 catches. The linemen are bickering and going back and forth. Linemen's coming off. Kyle Juszczyk inadvertently throwing his coach under the bus about the overtime rules. Kyle Shanahan catching a lot of heat. It's a lot of things that they got now that a win would have covered all of this up. Nobody would no, but now it's a loss. Now you got a tough offseason because at this point, with the team that they had, it's like, what more can we do? Like, what more can we do from this point? How can we even get better? Now I get it, and I don't want to sound condescending when I say this about Brock Purdy. This was his second year in the league. This is his first year as a full-time starter. Technically, yes, he can get better. Those things that you just highlighted about understanding where the blitzes come, where your hot routes at, maybe you can understand how to move the protections a lot better. He can absolutely grow and get better as a quarterback. But we've seen Kyle Shanahan in the league for years, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the best his offense has been ran since the Matt Ryan year that he won the MVP.
Yeah.
We're not really seeing so many more wrinkles and things of new things. I'm not saying his offense is outdated because everybody's mimicking his offense. But what I'm saying is we've been seeing the same offense. It's just the people at the quarterback position, are they the ones that be able to execute this offense? But at the end of the day, is this offense ever going to change? It ain't broke, so don't try to fix it. It's some things that you can tinker a little bit. I do understand that. But my thing is, that's why I did say, when I said I didn't want to sound condescending, I didn't want to say that Brock Purdy can't get better, because he absolutely can. Like you said, he absolutely can. But is this offense ever really going to change? It really is what I'm saying. That's the dilemma that I have with that aspect.
And so we know the offense has the ability to change because you see guys around the league that have, started to run it. Mike McDaniel, he added wrinkles to the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there, we know that this offense has the ability to kind of evolve and have some things. We don't know if Kyle Shanahan is willing to do that. But another wrinkle that we could see is the evolution of Brock Purdy as well. So that is a factor that you can take. So it can possibly be, hey, we're coming back with the same offense, but we gonna run it better. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's like when we was grilling. Hey, like you first start grilling a steak. Okay, I got my temperature's the same, everything's the same. But you know what? I know now. Let me make this seat. Let me dry it off. Let me salt it. Let it sit out at room temperature, and it'll form a better crust. Mm-hmm. Or let me close my vent so it'll have a better smoky taste. It'll change my timing and how long I let it rest. Like I take it out and let it rest. So there's evolutions that you can have as you grow, and as my pops used to say, experience is the best teacher. You know Absolutely. What I'm saying? He been in the Super Bowl now. He been up against this Spag defense, and hey, Spag did this to Tom Brady.
Yeah,
in Super Bowls. So let's not just act like this is like
hold your head, my brother. Like,
yeah, hey, bro, like
it happened to the best.
You ain't the only one. Literally, it happened to the best of them. You know what I'm saying? So hey, look, dog, don't hold your head. Keep your heart 3 stacks.
But the aspect of, like I said, now Brandon Ayuk is going into his 5th year option. He's going to play on that. Are they going to pay him? They paid Debo. Are they going to pay him as well? I know they got 2 more years before they actually have to pay Brock, and his actual cap hits or whatever they plan on doing with him is going to actually happen. Could they pay him? Absolutely.
Yeah. He's going to
get what?
He's going to get paid.
By who?
He's going to get paid by the 49ers.
All right. See things. Okay.
He'll get paid by the 49ers.
The reason why I said this is because DeForest Buckner didn't get paid. And what did they do?
What position did DeForest Buckner play?
Defensive tackle. One of the best, and he was one of the best all
pro.
Of
course. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying you saying anything wrong. I'm just saying quarterback is a little bit different. He ain't going nowhere.
Whoa. I'm not talking about the quarterback. I'm talking about Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, I thought you said Brock Purdy.
Okay, I see what you missed.
When you said Brock Purdy and they got 2 years, that's what I thought you meant was they paying him. Oh yeah, Brandon Ayuk gonna be there 2 more years. 5th year option, franchise tag.
Okay.
God, they back.
But this is based off their track record, based off how some of this noise is going. I know it's early, it's after the Super Bowl. It'll blow up in a week. But based off their track record, based off how the wide receiver classes have been.
And that's why I say he'll be there 2 more years.
But they can trade him.
Yeah, if somebody offers something right, then cool.
I mean, think about it. He was one of the last picks in the first round when he got drafted.
Yeah.
Normally, everybody they have, all the pieces they have ain't first round draft picks anyway. So they could use some of that draft capital to sprinkle some of this money around. Look at all the other free agents. Chase Young is probably gonna try to chase the bag somewhere else, or he might take.
He got that one sack and said, "I'm good.
I'm gone."
Somebody got to pay me.
He could sign a prove it deal. He could sign a prove it deal for in San Francisco to run it back. Big stage. Show him what's up. Javon Kinlow's gone. Sam Darnold's gone. Cleveland Ferrell gone. Randy Gregory. Who knows what they'll do with him? Sebastian Joseph Day. They got him in the middle of the season. A lot of these free agents, ain't really.
They can be replaced.
They can be replaced. But the thing is, it's all about paying people. Like you say, how much longer CFC got to be in the top dog? Like you say, or do they move Debo? Somebody that has an injury history, move him and pay Brandon Ayuk. Use that capital again. He was already on the block before they paid him. I'm just saying, based off nothing's out of the question when it comes to John Lynch, based on what they did to DeForest Buckner.
And here's my thing to just even take it off of DeForest Buckner. And just to talk about one point you made, we've seen what these wide receiver classes have been. So to me, yes, Debo has an injury history. Somebody might trade for Debo, and guess what? They might overpay for Debo because Debo might be the 49ers Draymond. He might be worth more to the 49ers than he is somewhere else they may use him because they may not be as creative and willing to do those things. But as we're starting to see players come in that kind of do those Debo things. Like shit, you look at Xavier Legette. he know it. You look at Xavier Legette coming in.
Mm-hmm.
He measured in smaller than what people expected, but throughout that time, like throughout his college season last year, they were like they remind him of he reminds them of a Debo. You look at Jaheim Bell, depending on what he run as a tight end, he might be able to like he was in that Debo role. He was a tight end getting screens and all handoffs and all of that stuff as well. And you can that's something that you can kind of pair with George Kittle or something like that. There are players that come in, remind you of Debo, they may not have that contact balance or run hard like Debo. But what I'm saying is, if you give someone like that a Debo light to Shanahan, who knows? And you might be able to get another piece and then build something else and upgrade Colton McKivitz.
Yeah, like you said, he might just be more valuable with the 49ers than a different team. And a lot of other teams can, they can go up there and think they're getting another Debo, and next thing you know, they mess around, they got Laviska Shenault.
Exactly.
So it's a gamble. Don't get me wrong. Like you say,
no, I'm not saying. I'm just what I'm saying.
I wanted to preface that by saying, I want to be too negative, but like I said, it could work. Like I said,
it's always a lottery ticket.
Because I was one of the ones high on Javon Kinlaw when they traded DeForest Buckner. I was very high on Javon Kinlaw, and then come to find out he don't know how to play football, or he's just a rotational piece. You know what I'm saying? So at best. So that was one of the trades. I'm like, okay, I wouldn't have done it, but I understand it. And then you had an opportunity to try to fix it. Sometimes you hit. Sometimes you trade. Sometimes you trade a Stephon Diggs and then you drafted Justin Jefferson. Sometimes it happens. Like, hey, it's a crapshoot. It's a gamble. But we spend enough time on the losers. Try losing ass up.
Y'all got your own damn show coming up next anyway.
Yeah, y'all can go ahead and cry in the car over there. We done with that, man. Let's talk about these Chiefs, man.
Get your vent session off.
I mean, it's going to be very, very entertaining because I'm definitely getting my popcorn ready for that. Check out Kane Fan to San Fran after that. But shout out to the Chiefs, man. The Chiefs did it again. with lesser team, and I'm not gonna say lesser team. I'm gonna say a lesser offense.
Yeah, because and I think that's what a lot of people start getting the game fucked up. This ain't a lesser team. This is a different variation of a team. This is a deep, like, I won't even say a defense first team, but they got one of the better defenses in the NFL.
Yes, and it's been like that all year,
all season long. This wasn't just like, oh, the defense stepped up. The defense has been one of the reasons they've been in the hunt all season.
But that's the thing. The first couple Super Bowls, when they won the Super Bowl, it was the defense got hot in the playoffs and kept it moving. No, this defense was real from the jump, from week 1 till now.
Yeah.
And like I said, and it continues to get better. And I remember we had a couple episodes, and Chiefs wasn't looking like they was looking, and we said, hey, we worried about the Chiefs yet? And it was, nah, we ain't worried about the Chiefs. We ain't worried about the Chiefs yet. They gonna get it together. Then they, started still looking a little shaky. We like, okay, we worried about the Chiefs. Yeah, we a little worried about the Chiefs. They don't look the same often, And then the playoffs come around, and then they look like the Chiefs again. Like, it's amazing how the fact that the funny thing about it, remember we talked about the awards when it came to Trent McDuffie getting the All-Pro.
Yeah,
and we thought L'Jarius Sneed should have been an All-Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, they got both of them, and both of them showed up. Like, Trent McDuffie strapping, you know what I'm saying? Block shedding, avoiding Big Trent coming in space, still making tackles. L'Jarius Sneed strapping, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a reason why Brandon Ayuk had 3 catches. It's a reason why Deebo Samuel had 11 targets and he only had a certain amount of catches. I don't know what happened with George Kittle, but hey, it was a reason why he only had 4 yards. The secondary is real, man. Secondary is real, and it's been real. They linebacking core has been real. It was healthy this game, and this front 4 is a little underrated. Outside of Chris Jones, people don't really want to show him no love. What you pulled a hamstring? You Deebo?
Nah, something bumped into my foot, scared the shit out of me. I'm home alone.
They don't make them like they used to. What? You ain't living right. You ain't living right. You ain't supposed to be jumping in your house, buddy.
Hey, look, it's right under the desk.
Okay.
Right under the desk. That's what I'm saying. Hey, something's about to get gone. But
Midwest dudes tripping. You and Mike Epps, man. I'll tell you.
Hey, look, but nah. So, and when we talk about how real this defense is,
I'm sick of them. But he was.
That's the funny part.
That's the funny thing. It didn't make any sense, man. They got to stop this shit, man.
But what I was gonna say is what people fail to realize is when you talk about, oh, this is a different variation of this team. This is, this ain't an offense. The Chiefs was still one of the best offenses in the league. It just wasn't as explosive as it once was. I believe that because it was something crazy. I think they ranked. We just used to put
put up there.
There you go. The Chiefs were 5th in DVOA this year. They were super efficient. They still put up their points. It looked a little bit different because you don't got Tyreek Hill getting 1 to 2 80-yard touchdowns a game, and then still got Travis Kelce getting 8 yards a catch or some shit like that. It was everybody getting 8 yards a catch, and now Andy Reid actually using the run game. That's how Andy Reid really likes Isaiah Pacheco, because he's actually using him as a running back. Speaking
of DVOA, the Chiefs faced the hardest postseason road to a title ever, based off of DVOA of their opponents.
Mm-hmm.
And they, like I said, they went against the Dolphins, went against the Bills, went against the Ravens, and they finished it off with the 49ers. Yo, that's a tough road. I'm not gonna say I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. And 3 of those games was on the road.
Yeah, and that's why.
Well, no, two of those games on the road. Sorry.
And that's why it's never too early to talk goats. But moving on. So that's one of the reasons why. A funny thing that I actually looked up: the Chiefs are 6th in special teams DVOA. The 49ers are 25th.
Okay, so stuff like that always happens.
Yep. So guess what? you was bound to drizzle. Goddamn Jake Moody and yep.
I mean, you you didn't want to touch on it, but let's talk about it. Like you said, it's not too early to talk about GOATs, right? And before we get to the GOAT conversation, as far as when it comes to Mahomes, I do want to say shouts out to the team, the Chiefs.
Yeah,
The Chiefs.
100%.
Because we watching this game. I was at Cannon House and my line brother was there and he kept saying, all right, Mahomes, the defense gave you another shot. What you gonna do? All right, Mahomes, the defense gave you another shot. What you gonna do? Because at this point, when we're watching this game was never out of hand. It was never out of reach. And so for them to even have a mistake, a stupid mistake at that, for him to overcome that and still be able to score the game-winning touchdown, shows you that this dude is different. Now let's get to this GOAT conversation.
And one more thing: how often do we hear players talk about, "Oh, we know that we got this guy. All we got to do is give him a chance," and it just seems like it always motivates them a little bit more, or whatever the case may be. And that's what it is. Hey, look, we just hold on, y'all. Like just keep us in it, keep it close, and we got a chance. And God damn it, it fucking happens every time.
Came into fruition, man. You want to talk about the free agents, or you want to talk about the GOAT conversation first?
I'll jump and just say this. First off, I don't know, if there's anybody that's here new and haven't heard me say this before. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like and subscribe. Secondly, I don't debate GOATs with people. I don't, because you'll never change people's minds. So I'm never going to debate you and say, "Oh, yes, it's no way that Patrick Mahomes can be the GOAT, or Tom Brady just inevitably just the GOAT." He can't, because again, whatever you feel like the criteria is for that is going to be your criteria. But what I'm saying is, to me, it is not too early to discuss the GOAT conversation and throw Patrick Mahomes in there, because I've seen it and I've actually seen both of them. And when Tom Brady came into the league and he got his first couple rings, it looked completely different than what it's looking like with Patrick Mahomes. Remember, Patrick Mahomes came in and we saw a 5,000-yard, 50-yard MVP season, touchdown, all of that. Tom Brady came in from the jump with that suspect defense we were just talking about, where everybody was hanging 30 on the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Am I tripping? Mm-hmm. FBO, you just said it. We used to everybody hanging 30 on the Chiefs. But guess what? Patrick Mahomes was always doing it. He was lighting it up. Boom, 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 boom. And when Tom Brady came in, best defense in the league, just don't mess it up, game manager. And remember, that was the debate. People was talking about Tom Brady like they talking about, Brock Purdy. Oh, he's just a game manager. He got the best defense. Just don't mess it up. Dink and dunk, this and that. And then he kept doing it, and he kept doing it, and he kept doing it. He kept getting those rings. And then even in his actual best seasons, his best regular seasons, that was a stretch they didn't win for almost a decade. And then towards the latter half, he started winning and stuff like he got that second iteration of those rings. And so I'm not saying that he is you can't you're out of line for saying Patrick Mahomes is better, because to be quite honest, I agree with you. I think from what I've seen, I believe Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT, and I'm gonna tell you why. People always just talk about, oh, he got to wait until he gets 7 rings. No, we don't. Because once again, everybody has always already proved rings isn't the end all be all, because Michael Jordan is y'all GOAT. If rings was the end all be all, guess what? It would be Bill Russell. Mm-hmm. But no, y'all not just talking about because the eye test. Oh, Michael Jordan does things that we ain't never seen nobody do. And it's just like, oh, that's it. He's in different air. And yes, when Tom Brady would do that, it felt like he's in rare air. But again, we ain't never had the game manager conversation with Patrick Mahomes. Never. We ain't never said that, regardless of what it is and what you've seen and this, this and that. We ain't never said that. And he's always done it. And also what I'll say is, yes, Tom Brady has his rings. What he has is a great accomplishment. But to me, talent also comes into it. And he did it with the limitations that he has. But God damn it, Patrick Mahomes got it. He got the arm talent. He was the leading rusher for the team, and we don't look at him like Lamar Jackson. You see what I'm saying? So to me, all of that is just like it's the eye test, it's the clutch, it's all of it. It's the legend factor where it's just like they got him, bro. I'm not betting against him. The same way you talk about the legends. Oh, they got him. I'm not betting against them.
You know, the funny
it's that kind of thing.
It's to the point, like, I get it. Like I said, I get it. You know, we've crowned Tom Brady the GOAT, and Tom Brady, rightfully so, is considered the GOAT. We've called him the GOAT on numerous occasions, you know, on here before. I'm not about to sit here and debate y'all about if Tom Brady is the GOAT or not. But Mahomes is definitely on that trajectory for sure to knock on that door. And like I said, it's definitely not going to have to be, he doesn't have to get the 7 rings to get in this conversation. You got to think about it. A lot of people wanted to have Aaron Rodgers in their top 5, and he only has 1 ring.
Right.
So we get to the point where we always have the disconnect in the group, in the group about talent and then accolades. Right? We always say, "Oh yeah, this dude he just had more talent. He just had more talent. Oh, but he just didn't have this. He, you know, he didn't have this. He didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's always the disconnect. It's always the disconnect. With somebody always can separate the two. But now we have somebody that actually has the talent. The talent, he can run. He can make every throw. Got one of the strongest arms. You know, cerebral. He can read the defenses. He can do everything that you want him to do as a quarterback. Like, he's almost a damn near. If he wasn't, all you gotta do is be Cam Newton size for you to be a creative player type of quarterback. But pretty much, if you make it a creative player, he's gonna have all the attributes that Patrick Mahomes possessed. And now he's getting the hardware to start to match it. He's on the way to match some of this stuff. So yeah, hey, I ain't like you said, I'm with you, AJ. I ain't arguing with neither one of y'all. You know,
yeah, no, like I ain't about to go back and forth with you. I said what I said.
You know, I'm
you know
just saying.
What I'm
saying? But this is fun. This is a funny point. Like, when they talk about Terry Bradshaw, they treat Terry Bradshaw like he's Brock Purdy. They always bring up John Stallworth. They always bring up Lynn Swan. Frank, did he play with Franco Harris too? Was he old?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't know how old he was, or you know what I'm saying. I know he's old, but yeah, but that's how they treat him. They treat him like he just had so many weapons. Terry Bradshaw was just dead. He won't that good. That's how they treat Terry Bradshaw. You know what I'm saying? But he got 4 rings. So which one is it? But let's put a poll up in the group. Other than Steelers fan, Dan Marino or Terry Bradshaw, who they gonna take?
Yeah. And again, so that's always been my thing. Like, hey,
and I didn't mean no disrespect.
Oh no, 100%. Because again, you know, how can I put this?
You ain't gotta stay with that, because you, whatever you about to say, you ain't gonna say it right. I'm gonna just go ahead and stop.
Okay, all right, cool.
You ain't gonna say it right. It's gonna get you misconstrued, bro. Just text me, dog.
All right, cool.
The key free agents. Chris Jones and the Chiefs had a little contract dispute this whole last offseason. I'm not sure how this is gonna play out. But what we do know is Mahomes is going to restructure his contract again. They're going to have some more cap space. So I am predicting that Chris Jones is going to come back in some way, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? I feel the same exact way about L'Jarius Sneed. I feel that these two individuals are key cornerstone pieces that I think that they feel that they need, and I feel that they feel that they can bring back. Everybody else on this list. I mean, it besides Willie Gay.
Yeah, Willie Gay coming back. I think Willie Gay will come back.
Willie Gay will come back with whatever they offer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at this point, he might want some money. You know, but
yeah, I think he'll come back.
But everybody on this list.
Okay,
this right here. Now this nasty for the league, bro. That they only got 2 decisions that they got to make. 2.
Yeah, 2.
2 tough decisions. Don't get me wrong. It's gonna be hard to replace L'Jarius Sneed. It's gonna be hard to replace Chris Jones. But don't get it twisted. I think Chris Jones missed the first 2 games this year, right?
Yeah, I think so. From his holdout.
This defense was still balling in the first 2 games. You know, now don't get me wrong. I ain't minimizing Chris Jones at all. But I do feel that I ain't betting against them. They're gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way. And like I said, Patty ain't gonna restructure his contract for no reason.
Yeah, of course.
You know this.
We gonna use this money.
Oh, they gonna use this money.
Yeah, because to me, because what do we expect anything else from Veach? No. They gonna go for it.
Oh,
they gonna go for it. Like I don't expect anything else from Veach. Like they've played. It's a reason they're here. They've played this money game right this entire time.
Hold on. They ain't went for it for the past 2 years, bro.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
All right, I'm just
like I'm talking about the previous where they kind of went for it and redid like after that Buccaneers Super Bowl loss where they redid the entire offensive line. You know, brought Thuney in, spent money, stuff like that. Went and got Orlando Brown, etc. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and then they've spent money, you know, on defensive pieces and stuff like that, and then they start hitting on their draft pieces. So what I'm saying is Veach. They like Veach. I expect nothing less. Veach is he's gonna identify who he want. He's gonna go get him. They're gonna draft and they're gonna go get him. And to really be scary, they gonna fuck around and hit like they didn't try some receivers. They gonna fuck around and hit on one.
Oh, for sure.
They're gonna hit on one, and this is gonna be scary.
Yeah, because I mean they got Rashee Rice, and Rashee Rice definitely gonna keep. He's going to continue to ascend. They got Scott Moore in the Tyreek trade. He ain't really.
I think what Rashee Rice is going to eventually do, he's going to eventually take over that Travis Kelce kind of over the middle role. And man, once they get some like, Lord, please don't let them get like a Brian Thomas or Troy Franklin.
They might possibly get one of them. Yeah,
I know, and that's what I'm saying. So like one of those dudes with speed and actually got some height on them now too. If they hit on one of them and they end up being better than Marquez Valdez-Scantling, like they don't even got to beat Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, just be better than
that's the scary part. Like you don't got to be Tyreek Hill. You could just be MVS, and this like, hey, this is a Super Bowl roster.
You know, that's just that's the funny thing about it, man. It's like can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Because I already hear. I heard the disdain in your voice as you know when they won. I know you was going for it. Why does this feel different than the Patriots run? Like why does it feel that everybody outside of the Patriots fan base just hated when the Patriots won? Why does it feel like, and I could be wrong, why does it feel like nobody's hating on this Chiefs run?
Oh no! So let me set the record straight. There are people that are hating on this Chiefs run.
Absolutely.
There's definitely people hating on the Chiefs run, but I think that
we've tried to replace Mahomes as the top quarterback for the past couple of years now. Like I get the hate.
Oh yeah. So there's plenty of factors also why they've tried to replace Mahomes as the top quarterback in the league. But, we don't need to go there. But I think also in their run, there is things that I feel like, I was going to say there are reasons why people didn't like them. And that's one of those reasons where it's just like you had Deflategate, you had Spygate, all of that. And then, I mean, people didn't like Bill Belichick, of course.
Didn't.
And that's one of the reasons people trying to shit on Bill Belichick like he ain't one of them ones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so in those situations where it's just like Bill Belichick don't talk to the media, so guess what? We can start putting these media narratives out there, and a lot of times we start to see when the media narrative get out there, a lot of those people will start to just go ahead and they'll believe it, and then once they believe it, guess what?
That's it. That's gonna be gold.
That's what it is. And so that's why people can tell you, oh, all these certain things about so and so. That's why they can tell you, oh, Tom Brady is the GOAT, and ain't no way that you can think otherwise, because guess what? That's what they tell you, and that's what they've been telling you, and that's what they call. Once they called him that for 10, 15 years, it's programmed in you, so you can't get that out of your mind. And I think with this one, it's a lot different to for other people as well, because kind of like in the start of it, it's like it's fun to watch. Think about it, like when they got Randy Moss, like, oh shit, we like Randy Moss, we kind of like and it's fun now too.
Yeah,
it kind of died. Some of that hate kind of died down, because guess what? It's just like, oh, we kind of like this. This is kind of what we want. This is kind of what we want to see. How about you give me some of those nuggies?
and I get it. Like I say, Bill is he's definitely not a likable guy. Andy Reid's a more likable guy. People do like Tom Brady. We started to see his personality once he left New England. So, obviously people like Patrick Mahomes more. He actually can play both sides of the field, which is a benefit to him in that sense. That's the case. So so now in a sense, when you say it out loud, the question sounds dumb as hell, but it's just like, okay, eventually when we gonna start hating? Because like this is, I think they need some of this hate, bro. Because I don't, and I think that's the problem. I kind of do think that's the problem. Where is the hate? Like people, people hated it, and people hated the Patriots, and they was going out. The Steelers was going out their way to try to beat them. The Ravens was going out their way to try to beat them. The Colts was trying to go out their way to beat them. It's like it was a real disdain. Everybody out here looking towards the Chiefs like, oh man, Big Bro did it to us again, man. I'm just ain't gonna ever beat Big Bro. Like,
here's the thing also. A lot of times, like, again, going with the media narrative, they didn't like how Bill Belichick was handling some of the players. Oh, we won. Your contract getting a little expensive. Do you want to renegotiate? No. All right. To Oakland you go.
Yeah.
Type shit. And so it was kind of like one of those things where it was just like, damn. And then you had the Spygate, and then you had all this, and then guess what? Now it gives you an opportunity, like, to be like, oh, can this team, be better than the Patriots dynasty? Bill Belichick getting so much hate, and Tom Brady's resume, you can't put no smut on Tom Brady's name, but Bill Belichick he's still taking all that heat. And so now Andy Reid is like the lovable loser who started, like, who left Philadelphia, and now he's getting his chips, and now he's vaulted in this conversation, and he's doing commercials, and he's showing his personality. He's funny. The media love him, and guess what? When the media love you, you're not gonna get that hate, because they're gonna dictate a lot of these people.
Yeah, I feel this the Taylor Swift cover was just out of hand, but we understand it was a money thing, and NFL ain't gonna turn down no money. But I do feel that the AFC in particular, it need to start being some disdain. Like I get it. Like I know, like I need to be some real hate.
Want me to take you somewhere where they hate the Chiefs?
What, Cincinnati?
I'm on to Cincinnati with me, dog.
Yeah, like I get it, but like, man, don't get me wrong. Like I get it. Like I get it, but like it got to be more than Cincinnati. Like I named a lot of teams when I just said when the Patriots. Like I named a list of teams. Like I said, like the Bills don't feel like they hate the Chiefs to me. It feels like it's like when you got a big bro and Big Bro take you out back and just beat you in basketball. Like, damn,
but you know what it is though? It might be that to a lot of these teams, they might feel like the Chiefs are untouchable. And so they feel like, oh, we can't fuck with them.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. So guess what? So now you see why. So now you see why. So now you see why Cincinnati hates them, because
I get it, but okay.
But also,
but y'all lost. Yeah, but right. y'all lost, and then what happened? Where who else gonna take the hit? Because like I said,
but here's the thing. Also, when we was winning, we didn't like them. Because remember we beat them 3 times in a row. But so here's the thing. You say it seemed like the Bills don't like them, right? Cool.
No, it seemed like the Bills have
are they bowed, not like they
yep,
not bowed. Okay,
it feels
they
like they
bowed
bowed down.
But they dominated their whole division. Like damn near nobody in their division can beat them outside of just like a random Raiders win or something like that. They dominate their division. AFC South, I mean, AFC South been the AFC South. They like come back from like 20 something down against the Titans or something like that one time. I can't remember. But and then it's just like no, like what other team makes you feel like they're gonna compete with them? The only other team that I really feel like should feel like that is the Ravens.
And I was about to mention it better be some smoke. It should be some smoke.
Yeah, like to me.
You gotta think about it. The 49ers this year had smoke for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like we need to see the Eagles again, right? And what happened when they played the Eagles? They treated it like such. So it was smoke there. So it's like, okay, now it's like, okay. And then on the flip side, the Eagles kept hearing this noise too. It was real disdain in the NFC East. I mean, not in the NFC. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
And then the Rams getting in the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like it just feels it. You get what I'm saying? Because we say the same thing.
I 100% get what you're saying, but then
at some point we're gonna have to get some hate. Like I love the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs too.
And I think it's also scheduling involved in that too. What's going on, Rakia? So it's like after like that 2021 season, we played the Chiefs in the regular season and then played them in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then schedule maker said, "Oh, put them on the schedule again."
Yeah,
it happened again. Yeah. And guess what? It happened again. Because remember, at one point in time, I was like, "Hey, damn, do we play the goddamn Titans every year?"
Yeah, it was
like, "Damn, do we play it?" So like, we kind of like repeated. And so now, guess what? Guess who on the Ravens schedule? The Chiefs.
That's what. So now let's.
So again, I need to just how you hear like the back and forth between the Bengals and the Chiefs and stuff like that. We never heard it with the Bills. We never heard it with the Bills.
That's what I'm saying.
But I know it's some dudes on the Ravens team that talk. It's a lot of them. Marlon Humphrey, you talk a lot. You be on Twitter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Roquan, you talk a lot. You be at it with the Bengals a lot. Patrick Queen, you talk a lot. It's a lot of y'all that talk. So I need y'all to go ahead. Like if you really about it, like, and you talking to these other teams, I need that same energy when it comes to the
towards them. It need to be like I said, it need to be a conscious effort. They need to feel it, bro. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but like, you know,
and also the Chiefs need to see you as a threat too. So you got to start beating them.
I don't know. You put that bug in the air. That's gonna be nasty. Because then they're gonna turn up. We don't want them to turn up no more. Like,
but what I'm saying is though, like again, the Chiefs would talk back to us. You get what I'm saying? The Chiefs would say like Chiefs players, Travis Kelce, Orlando Brown Jr. before he got with like L'Jarius Sneed and Chase. They damn near was going at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, and that's the thing. Like the Steelers would tell you all the time, "Oh, the Bengals ain't no rivalry. We ain't worried about them." And then once we start getting good, you start hearing the Steelers talk about the Bengals a lot, right?
Yeah.
So once again,
I mean,
you kind of wanted to see both ways, and
it's a bad example because that's divisions, you know.
I
got your point.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I said the Chiefs first, because the Chiefs was like they go back and forth. The Bills would beat them in the regular season. Why ain't they talking? Because it still they felt like when it count, we don't want to make them mad.
And that's the problem that I had. So now, you know, shouts out to my guy David Hellman, NFL on Fox podcast. He put out the too early power rankings because that's the thing that he does on his podcast is power rankings. So we got the power rankings that he got way too early right now. And he got the Chiefs as number 1, 49ers number 2, got the Lions at 3, you got the Packers at 4, Ravens at 5, Bills at 6, Eagles at 7, Cowboys at 8, Browns at 9, and the Rams at 10. Where do you want to start?
I want to start by saying this list is terrible.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start there. And then I'm going to finish with all things like to me, saying this is the top teams for 2024, this is terrible. If you want to say this is the top teams of 2024 of how they finished this season, okay, cool. Because this is the playoff. These are the playoff teams from this season, basically, minus the Texans, which is crazy to me.
So I don't know. I mean, he gave his logic, like I said.
So let me start here. So let me start here. Having the Browns and the Rams over the Texans, it's ridiculous to me.
Absolutely,
it's complete blasphemy.
Absolutely.
Having I love what the Packers did. I love what the Packers did.
Yes.
Having them at 4.
Yes.
Behind the Lions. I know the Lions fought hard and they made it.
Like what happened to the Ravens? The Ravens about to just fall off a cliff too, or something? Like what's going on?
They were the number 1 seed.
So they just
and Mark Andrews got hurt a majority of the season. And don't get me wrong. They lost some coordinators, but didn't Green Bay just replace somebody?
Yeah, they replaced their defensive coordinator as well.
So I'm sorry. Jordan Love, I like you. Yeah. Lamar Jackson just won the MVP, did he not?
Yes, he did. I ain't even gonna talk about my team. My team shouldn't even be on the list, bro. I'm sorry. We could get out here if that's the case. Like my team shouldn't be on this list at all. Like
I'm not gonna let you do that. I think they should be. I think they should be on because first off, if the Browns is on this list, they sure should be.
I mean, based off this list, then
right.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. We both believe the Browns and the Rams shouldn't be on this list.
Absolutely not.
Are there three other teams that you feel like should be on this list?
Well, you already mentioned Texans.
Right.
Texans should be on the list. And I mean after that, then yeah, we just splitting hairs. We just throwing out
what the bro. All right. So look,
after that, we just splitting hairs and then we just throwing people in there. But like I'm not even like get whatever you do, however you arrange it, get the Cowboys off the list, bro. Like
so here's my thing. Is Joe Flacco coming back for the Browns and being a starter?
And if he is, the Chargers. Hey, listen, man.
Until the Chargers do it. So if you're telling me the Chargers and the Texans should be on this list, I got to do it. Where are the Cincinnati Bengals then?
If that's the logic that we going off with.
If that's the case, if the Chargers could be on this list, where's the Cincinnati Bengals?
They got a lot of questions.
Thank you, Rick. Okay, you know what?
Because the Bills got a lot of questions too.
The Bills got a lot of questions. And if the Bills can be on here with all their questions, then you got to put the Miami Dolphins on here somewhere with their questions, right?
Yeah, because I mean, what questions do the Dolphins have?
They lost Fangio.
He didn't like it there.
I know he didn't like it there. They lost Fangio. Their injuries, like we don't know how them guys gonna come back for their injuries on defense and stuff like that.
I get
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like you said, so boom, we got the Texans and the Dolphins should be on the list somewhere, easily over the Browns and the Rams, easily. And like I say, you could definitely take the Packers down. Take the Bills down. Like it's a lot of things that should be done.
And honestly, should the Bills be on this? They were one game away from missing the whole damn thing, and then went home.
But they won the game, so they got Josh Allen. You got Josh Allen. You got a chance. You know how it go, man. You know how it goes.
Yeah. All right, but yeah,
man. Listen, this is episode 228. We the 3-Man Weave. Yeah, I know y'all catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. You email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Please, everybody, if y'all watching it now, please make sure y'all watch Can't Ban the San Fran. Y'all will see a lot of tears on that thing. I'm telling you, I'm behind the scenes. I've seen the messaging. Oh, It's gonna be a lot of aggression. There'll be a lot of cuss words thrown out. So please get your
I gotta
popcorn.
go, man.
Please get your popcorn.
He can't win the big game. We're not gonna do nothing with him.
5 cow. They want a 5 cow. Oh man. So please make sure if y'all do anything, first hit the like, share, subscribe button on this one. And then
Ryan Tannehill to the Steelers. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yo, no, he know what he doing because Ryan Tannehill coming way before Fields is coming.
The way.
And we can put the parlay bet in on that if we want to.
You know it.
Oh man, but hey man, appreciate everybody that joined us. Appreciate everybody that's gonna watch us on the playback. And we out.